Welcome to No Nonsense Short-Term Rental Hosting Tips, where we talk about important topics that often get overlooked. Today, we're diving into something really foundational for any short-term rental: the power of your listing photos. You might think of photos as just, a nice to have, maybe a visual aid. But what if I told you they're arguably the single most important factor, the thing that determines if someone even bothers to read your description?
Oh, it's absolutely true, unequivocally.
Yeah.
In the short-term rental world, which is, let's face it, fiercely competitive, visual presentation isn't just important, it's pretty much everything. Guests form that first impression in like milliseconds, and that immediate visual hook, that's the gatekeeper. It decides if they click deeper or just keep scrolling. It's often the first and sometimes the only chance you get to grab their attention.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because the numbers behind this are genuinely eye-opening, almost unbelievable, really.
Yeah, and we're not just talking aesthetics here, not just pretty pictures. We're talking direct, measurable business impact. Research consistently shows that professional-grade photos, they have a transformative effect. They've been proven to significantly increase bookings, sometimes by as much as 24%,
Yes.
and boost overall revenue by a massive 40%.
40%. Wow. That's not just a little bump, that's a complete game changer for a host's business. And I saw something even wilder in the research. Some studies suggest up to a 309% increase in listing views with pro photos. Just imagine, two identical places, same price, same location. One has pro photos, gets 300% more eyeballs. It's huge.
It is huge, and what's really fascinating, despite these incredible gains, only about 33% of vacation rental owners actually invest in professional photography.
Only 43%. That seems low given the impact.
It is low, and it reveals this significant market inefficiency, which means for those hosts who do prioritize this investment, it creates a really powerful competitive advantage. It takes photography from being seen as just a cost, to being a potent driver of profit and making your place stand out. It's visual psychology, really.
So for you listening, what does this all boil down to? It means your photos aren't just showing the space, they're telling its story. They're selling an experience.
Precisely. Effective photos aren't passive. They're active tools. They let potential guests virtually experience the rental before they even book. They cultivate that immediate sense of comfort, maybe spaciousness, privacy. This pre-visualization is key. Guests start mentally living there, picturing themselves on that sofa, enjoying that view, and that builds a much stronger desire to actually book it.
And it goes beyond just attracting them initially, right? It's also about trust. That seems critical for reviews down the line.
Crucially, yes. Absolutely. High-quality, detailed, honest visuals are instrumental in managing guest expectations from the get-go. Transparent pictures reduce uncertainty. Guests know what they're getting regarding size, layout, amenities. On the flip side, if your photos are misleading, maybe make a room look way bigger than it is, or hide flaws. That leads directly to disappointment. And disappointment leads to negative reviews, which damages your reputation.
Right, damage that's hard to undo.
Exactly. So the primary function of good visual content isn't just to attract, it's to set accurate expectations. That leads to happier guests, better reviews, and repeat business.
Okay, so quality is king, we've established that. But then what about quantity? Is there a magic number of photos? How many do you really need to capture attention but not, overwhelm people?
Yeah, there's definitely an optimal range. It's not just about throwing everything up there. Platforms have different guidelines, obviously, but the trend is clear. Ample, high-quality images correlate with better performance. Airbnb, for instance, suggests maybe 15 to 20 images for a good overview, but they advise 20 to 30 for optimal engagement, though technically you can upload up to 100.
100 photos. Wow. Okay, what about Vubo or Booking.com? Are they similar?
Vrbo encourages using its full allowance, which is up to 50 photos. And importantly, they have a strict minimum: 6 published photos or your listing could get suspended.
A minimum. Okay, what kinds?
Yeah, they specify at least 1 exterior, 1 interior or lobby, 3 guest room photos, and 1 bathroom photo, just to cover the basics. Booking.com, they advise at least 24 high-quality photos for better ranking, and their system allows a huge number up to 299 images.
299. Okay, so platforms definitely lean towards more visuals, but here's where it gets really interesting, I think. The actual data on how travelers react to photo quantity.
Indeed. This isn't just platform preference, it's about user behavior. A Flipkey study, for example, showed travelers are 83% more likely to even inquire about listings with over 20 photos.
83% more likely. That's a massive jump in just getting noticed.
Huge. And Vrbo's own data from 2021. Properties with 25 or more photos got 40% more views and 30% more bookings. And Expedia, same year, Their report found listings with 30-plus photos generated 65% of all bookings.
Wow. Okay, the numbers are pretty compelling. More photos equals more interest, more bookings. But I've heard this term, the Goldilocks zone. Not too few, not too many. How does that fit in, especially when booking allows nearly 300? Is there a point of diminishing returns?
You've hit on a really key point there. It's about cognitive load, right? The data clearly supports more photos leading to more bookings, yes, but there is a nuanced optimal range. Why does more sometimes become less effective? Because people get tired. Exceeding roughly 50 to 70 photos can actually lead to diminishing returns, maybe even a slight decrease in
A
occupancy.
decrease. Why?
Well, some experts call it guest fatigue. Their brain just starts to tune out. They see repetition or they feel overwhelmed by too much information, too many clicks. They might just give up scrolling. So the goal isn't just hitting a high number, it's providing sufficient meaningful detail. Usually that sweet spot is somewhere in the 20 to 50 photo range, enough to tell the story, without including repetitive shots or just visual filler. Every photo needs a purpose.
Okay, so quality first, then quantity within that Goldilocks zone. Got it. Now, once we have that right number, it's about what we photograph and how. How do we craft that visual narrative, make it truly compelling?
Exactly. It starts with thinking like a guest and giving them a comprehensive virtual tour. You want to anticipate their questions visually. First up, exterior surroundings. Start with that crucial curb appeal. The front of the house, the yard, patio, balcony. And don't forget context. Show the neighborhood vibe, maybe a nearby park or a cafe if it's an asset. Aerial shots can be amazing, if possible. And please, declutter the outside. No hoses, stray toys, dead plants. Clean and inviting.
Right, first impressions start before they even walk inside.
Precisely. Then, living spaces. Focus on comfort, the style, the flow. Show multiple angles. Highlight cozy seating, unique decor. Very important. Include doorways, hallways, stairs. Help guests understand how the rooms connect. Give them that spatial sense.
Okay, makes sense. Layout is key. What about bedrooms?
Bedrooms need to scream rest and comfort. Perfectly made beds, crisp, clean linens, fluffed pillows are non-negotiable. Neutral, calming colors usually work best. Make it look serene.
And bathrooms, always a big one for guests.
Huge for cleanliness perception. Bathrooms need to sparkle, highlight clean fixtures, neatly folded towels, add small touches, a nice soap dish, maybe a small plant. If you have a special tub, make it look inviting.
Okay, good tips. Kitchens, especially important now with people cooking more on trips.
Absolutely paramount. The kitchen and dining areas showcase any modern appliances, ensure counters are spotless, total tidiness, add welcoming touches, a bowl of fresh fruit, a nice coffee maker setup, and critically demonstrate it's actually equipped. Don't just say it, show it. Open a drawer of utensils, show the wine glasses, the pots and pans, maybe even a fully set dining table. Prove it's ready to use.
Show, don't just tell. I like that.
Exactly. And finally, your unique amenities and views. These are your differentiators. Got a rooftop deck, a fireplace, pool, hot tub, gym. Show them off prominently. A fireplace looks best shown lit if safe and appropriate. Gives that cozy vibe. And if you have amazing views, make sure you open those doors or windows wide. Integrate the view into the interior shots. Blur that line between inside and out.
That really helps visualize the whole experience. But thinking about amenities specifically, are some more important to photograph than others? Is there a strategy there?
Oh, definitely. Not all amenities have the same pull or revenue impact. This is where you can get really strategic. ROI data actually categorizes them, which is quite helpful based on how common they are and how much revenue they drive. First, you have core drivers. High prevalence, high revenue impact. These are the basics guests expect. Wi-Fi, kitchen, TV, fridge, washer. You need clear photos of these, yes, but they're less about standing out and more about just confirming you have the essentials. Functional shots.
Okay, the expected stuff. What's next?
This is where it gets interesting. Niche winners. Low prevalence, but high revenue impact. These are the things that really let you differentiate and potentially charge more. Think dishwasher, pack and play for families, a nice bathtub, a BBQ grill, a quality coffee maker. Hot tubs often fall here too.
The things that aren't standard everywhere, but people really value.
Exactly. These justify premium pricing. So their photos shouldn't just be functional. They should be aspirational. Don't just show the BBQ grill. Show it set up for a meal, maybe. Show the hot tub steaming invitingly. Sell the experience it offers.
Gotcha. Make those the star features. What's the last category?
Questionable investment. Low prevalence and low or kind of mixed revenue impact. Things like an elevator, maybe a pool in a market where it's not expected, basic body soap, a blender. Include photos if you have them, sure. But don't waste your prime photo slots or overemphasize them unless you're targeting a very specific niche that needs that particular thing.
So strategically, the advice is nail the basics, but really focus your photographic energy on those niche winners to stand out and justify your rate. Makes sense.
Precisely. Leverage those unique selling points visually. And beyond what you photograph, of course, is how you capture it. That involves smart staging, getting the lighting right, and thoughtful composition. These techniques make a huge difference.
Okay, let's talk staging. We know declutter, but what are the absolute must-dos for a short-term rental? Sounds like it goes deeper than just tidying up.
It absolutely does. Yes, decluttering is step one. But the crucial next step is depersonalization for aspiration. You have to rigorously remove all personal items, family photos, toiletries cluttering the counter, piles of mail, kids' toys, pet stuff, everything.
Why is depersonalization so key?
Because it creates a clean, inviting, neutral canvas that makes spaces feel larger, more universally appealing. It lets guests imagine their belongings, their vacation happening there. Not like they're intruding on someone else's life, it's about creating that aspirational blank canvas. And especially for smaller properties, remember, less is more. Avoid overcrowding. Choose a few nice, functional pieces. Arrange furniture for flow. Maybe use multi-purpose items. And add some greenery plants, add life and warmth, even to small spaces.
Okay, blank canvas, less is more. What about those inviting touches?
Ah, yes, the finishing touches. Neatly made beds, crisp linens, cozy throws. Set the dining table simply. Maybe a bowl of fruit or fresh flowers. Subtle decorative accents. And try to incorporate those lifestyle shots we mentioned, that cozy reading nook, outdoor seating with string lights at dusk. Help guests visualize themselves enjoying the space.
Selling the feeling, not just the furniture. I get it. Okay, stage is set. Now, the actual photos. Lighting and composition, what are the key technical tips, whether you hire someone or DIY?
Lighting is probably the single most critical element. Number one rule, maximize natural light. Shoot during the day. Open every curtain, every blind. Flood the space with light. Avoid dark, shadowy photos at all costs. Avoid harsh overhead artificial lights if you can help it.
What if you have to shoot when it's darker?
Then use warm, well-balanced artificial light. Lamps are your friend. Supplement with soft white LED bulbs if needed to brighten corners and keep the color temperature consistent and inviting. Now, angles and composition. Use a tripod, always.
Always, even with a good phone camera.
Yes. It ensures sharp, stable shots and helps maintain consistent angles, which is crucial for that virtual tour feeling. Shoot mostly in landscape mode, it just works better on listings. Capture multiple angles of each key room. A wide shot for context, a mid-range for features, a close-up for details. Aim for at least 3 distinct photos per room. Keep the camera around chest level for a natural view. Maybe slightly lower in kitchens to show off countertops. Frame shots to include 3 walls, or shoot into a corner. This creates depth and helps show the flow. And basic housekeeping for photos, spotless mirrors and glass. Hide all cords and clutter. Polish makes perfect.
Great practical tips. Any common mistakes, photo pitfalls we should absolutely steer clear of?
Oh, definitely. Avoid super zoomed in shots or weird extreme angles that distort the space, makes it look unnatural. Never ever use the camera's built-in flash. It creates harsh shadows, flattens everything, looks awful. Be mindful of reflections. Try not to capture yourself in mirrors or windows. Easy mistake to make. And maybe the biggest pitfall. Low quality. All photos must be high resolution, sharp, and well lit. Blurry, dark, pixelated, black and white, or watermarked images. They just scream unprofessional and turn guests off immediately.
And that authenticity enhancement balance you mentioned.
It's critical. Enhance reality, don't invent it. Brighten, sharpen, sure, but don't change colors dramatically or Photoshop in things that aren't there. Over-editing kills trust faster than anything. Guests arrive expecting one thing and see another. Instant negative review.
Authenticity is key. Okay, so how can hosts keep generating fresh photo ideas, especially if they feel like they've already shot everything?
Think about the guest experience from different angles, maybe seasonal vibes. If your place shines in different seasons, capture that. Cozy winter shots, bright summer shots. Keep it relevant year-round. Double down on unique features and wow W moments. What's truly special, that fireplace, the view, the unique architecture. Make sure those are front and center, especially in the first few photos. Remember flow and connections. Show how rooms connect. Guests need to understand the layout. Don't just show isolated rooms. Get a fresh perspective. Ask a friend, someone whose taste you trust, to walk through what catches their eye. You might be overlooking something great because you see it every day. And always, tailor to your target audience. Who are you trying to attract? Remote workers. Show the great workspace. Families. Highlight the kid-friendly stuff. Make the photos speak directly to their needs. Right, so the photo shoot isn't the end of the story. Post-production, organizing them, keeping them fresh. That's all part of it too.
Let's talk editing then. Golden rules. How much tweaking is okay before it becomes misleading?
Enhance. Don't misrepresent. That's the mantra. Adjust brightness, contrast, maybe saturation slightly to make things pop. Yes, straight lines, absolutely. But altering colors significantly, making the grass like greener than it is, photoshopping out a permanent fixture you don't like? No, big no. Guests value accuracy above all else. Use free tools like Canva or Snapseed for basics if you're DIYing. But stick to that authenticity enhancement balance. Over-editing is probably the hashtag one path to bad reviews related to photos.
Okay, enhance, don't invent. Got it. Once they're edited, how should we organize them in the listing? Is there a best practice for flow?
Definitely. Think logical sequence, like a virtual walkthrough. Start outside, move inside to the main living areas, then kitchen, bedrooms, bathrooms, amenities, views. Follow the natural path someone would take. Group photos by room, all living room shots together, then all kitchen shots. Avoid jumping around, it's confusing. And use captions, concise, descriptive captions. Highlight a specific feature, add context. It turns the gallery into a guided tour.
Makes sense. And that all-important cover photo, the first one they see, the hero image.
Absolutely critical. That and maybe the next 4 photos, photos. The main cover photo has one job. Stop the scroll. It needs to be visually stunning, engaging, persuasive, and accurately represent the best single thing about your property. Is it the view? The pool? The cozy interior? That killer feature goes first. It needs to create an emotional pull, make them want to see more. It sets the entire tone.
So it's not set it and forget it. We need to keep things current. And think about mobile viewing.
Essential. Regular updates are key. Did you renovate, get new furniture, change the decor significantly, update those photos immediately? It ensures accuracy, which builds trust. Plus, it signals to the platforms that your listing is active and well-managed. That can actually help your search ranking.
Oh, interesting. Didn't think about the ranking aspect.
Yep. And mobile optimization is fundamental now. Most people browse on their phones, make sure your photos look good small. Are key details still visible? Is the brightness okay on a phone screen? Test it out.
So it really is an ongoing process. How can hosts make sure they're continuously improving?
It's a loop, a data-driven optimization loop. Actively analyze performance. Use A/B testing if the platform allows, especially for your cover photo. Which one gets more clicks? Pay close attention to guest feedback. Do reviews ever mention the photos, positively or negatively regarding accuracy? That's gold. And regularly check out your competition. What are the top performers in your area doing with their photos? Learn from the best. Keep refining.
Wow. Okay. This deep dive has really driven home that great photos, high quality, the right quantity, strategically chosen and arranged, they aren't just nice. They're the absolute cornerstone of a successful listing. The data doesn't lie.
Absolutely. Think of it this way. Investing in your visual content isn't an expense. It's a direct investment in the long-term success, the growth, the profitability of your property. It's about turning a listing from just information into a story. A compelling narrative that attracts people, engages them, and makes them click book now.
So, a final thought for everyone listening. As you look at your own listing, ask yourself, are your photos just showing your property, or are they truly selling a dream? Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into short-term rental photo optimization. We really hope you feel informed and maybe inspired to go transform your own listings.